Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking just in terms of like cognitive distortions. You know what I'm saying? Your mind playing tricks on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Has there ever been a point where it was just like your mental health was at a low, and then you like, and how did you climb out of that?
Yeah, definitely. Last year was tough for me, bro. Like last year, I just dealt with a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of people that were really close to me in my life, and like a good number of them, multiple people. And it's just like when you deal with all of those things at once, obviously it's just hard to you're not even done recovering from one thing, and then another thing happens. So it's just, it sets you back. And you know, with that, like, I use music for my mental health. That's why this album was about what it was about. Like I use music to write myself out of things that I'm feeling, and to write myself out of, you know, like pride, like ego things that I need to get over, and I just write myself out of shit. Like that's how I deal with my life. If I'm mad about something, I come home and I write myself out of it. I write my, you know, and that's just how I've been. It really started with poems for me, bro. It started with poems, and then freestyling, and then it went to this, and then I've tried all different avenues of this shit, and it just all comes back to the main thing of like, I do it for myself, for my own mental well-being. So you know, for that reason, like it's just natural, and that's the beautiful thing about it. It's all just been very like, it just all comes to me, bro. I don't know what, I haven't had writer's block, I don't think, like ever, because I just write about feelings
That was my
I
next.
have,
That was
bro.
gonna be my next
Yeah.
thing. Is that you ever feel like you had writer's block?
No, like do you know what I'll struggle with sometimes is that I write things down, and then I try to find a way to expand what I wrote. Like I'll write about a feeling, but I'll be like, okay, how do I make this feeling even more metaphorical? Like I'm upset today, but how do I make upset today sound like something absolutely crazy and cinematic? And you know, I'm talking about you know, the wind and the trees and this, and you know what I mean. I try to be more metaphorical with my shit lately, and for that reason, sometimes like it will halt my process. I'll rewrite something 12 times. You know what I mean? Like I'll write it, I'll get halfway through like 16 or you know 8 bars into the verse, and I'll be like, do you know what? I don't really backtrack, write it the whole entire thing again. Do you know another thing I've been doing lately is that I'll write a song and then I'll flip it upside down. Like I'll write a song, first verse, second verse, third verse, and then I'll be like, do you want to know what? I like this third verse better as the first verse. And I like, you know what I mean? I'll flip the whole entire, I'll swap verses around. That's another thing I've been doing lately. Like I try to, like, instead of just settling on one thing, I'll be like, okay, I feel like I accomplished the message better if this is here. Like I wrote better towards the end of this song because I write everything linear, you know? Like when I'm writing on a beat, like I'll sit there and I'll write the whole entire song, like top to bottom. But then sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, I like the bottom better. So I'm going to put this up here, you know? So that's been kind of cool too. And for those reasons, the process is elongated. But as far as like writer's block, like I don't know what the hell to write about today, or I don't know what's this. Like, I don't know what it, maybe it's just because I'm a psychopath, but I don't have that, bro. It just doesn't happen.
Do you think like mental health and like a person's like understanding of spirituality like kind of like go hand in hand? Do you think spirituality and mental health go hand in hand?
I think so, yeah. I think definitely, because you just like, you got to have your own things that you believe in. You know what I mean? Like you got to have like your own personal, everybody needs a belief system in one way or another, you know, no matter what the fuck it is, you know?
Absolutely.
So, and I feel like with that and, you know, being spiritual and all of that, like I feel like it kind of gives you purpose. And when you have purpose, like your mental health is better. Like when you know what your purpose is. Some people struggle to find purpose, and believing in something is a great way to find your purpose, you know? And I believe in what I'm doing with this music. I believe in, you know, like the decisions that I'm making right now. And for that reason, my mental health has been on an incline, but it was not in a good space, you know what I mean? And I guarantee you that there will be a time coming up soon where I got to deal with some other shit, and it's going to go back down. That's how life is. It's a balance. It's highs and lows. So like you're going to, in that cognitive distortion, some days you wake up feeling like fucking the whole world's crashing down, and some days you wake up feeling like you could pick the whole entire world up. And it's just, that's the balance. And especially as an artist, like that happens, bro. I scroll on my timeline and I see, you know,
Craziness.
artists that are shooting their grandmas with their bazooka that are made it, and it's like I've been doing this shit for years, bro. And it's like writing, like thinking from the heart, writing, putting my soul on a page. You know what I mean? So sometimes like I see that shit and I'm like, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not, you know, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then some days I wake up and it's like, nah, dude, you need to try harder. You need to get yourself in front of people. You need to do this because you are talented enough. You're not in the right lane yet. Once you get in the right lane, then you'll be good. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, constantly coaching myself in my own head, these little battles, these cognitive distortions, bro.
Hell yeah, the story of the two wolves, man.
Yep,
Which one you
hell
gonna
yeah.
feed? And I think you said something dope within all of that, where it's just like you're pouring into yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm not. You're not necessarily looking for the external factors. Oh, I'm not dwelling on that. I was like, no, let me pour into myself, pour into my dreams, what makes me feel good, and it helps shift everything else. I
right.
think that's super powerful, and I hope everybody listens to the project so they can, you know what I mean,
I hope
and
so
see the
too,
fruits
man.
of that.
I really do. I think that there's something for everybody on this project. There's a message for everybody. You know what I mean? Like it really it's very relatable because I'm talking about things that are like of everyday life. You know,
Hmm.
and especially for artists. You know what I mean? But like there's something for everybody on there. But